Give me a thumbs up for these little puppies. Say hi, guys.
What's going on, guys? It's Investing Hustler here, and today I have lots of news for you guys. And one of the articles we'll be touching up on is the one reason Aurora Cannabis will be the undisputed industry leader for many years. But first, let's get started. We're going to take a look at Aurora Cannabis real quick, and it looks like they started off real good. They started off in the green today, went as high as 738 American, and now they're just on the downfall. They went down 3.41% today. They're currently sitting at $7.09, and it's not looking good. It looks like overall the whole industry seems to be declining right now after a good morning, after a decent pre-market. All these companies seem to be in the red. One of the big winners in the pre-market was Aphria, and they're currently only up 0.5%. They went from being up 4%, even 5% at one point when the markets opened, to now only being up 0.39%. Probably going to be declining into the red throughout the day. We'll find out what happens at the end of the day. Right now, it's only 12:14 p.m. So let's take a look at these articles real quick. So we got lots of articles, so I'm going to try to skim past all of them real quick. First one is CBD is going to the dogs. Continue growth in hemp-derived pet products. So Canopy Growth Corporation, always a strong market indicator, partnered with Sequential Brands Group to announce that Martha Stewart has joined the company in an advisory role to assist with developing and positioning a broad new line of product offering across multiple categories, one of which is a rapidly growing pet wellness category. So as more pet owners become increasingly concerned with their pet's overall health, including mental and physical, as opposed to simply physical and nutrition, the hemp and CBD space continues to gain traction, and we will continue to see more natural, healthy products come to the market to help improve the overall lives of our four-footed family members. So I think that the pet industry is an industry that we don't really talk about, and it's going to be huge. Everyone loves their pets. People spend a lot of money on their pets, and a lot of people love their pets just as much as they love their children. So health is a huge concern for animals, for dogs, for cats. So this is very good, especially for Canopy to be tapping into this sector. If you want to check out this full article, you guys could type this in on Google, read the full article. It's quite a long one. But let's move on to the next one, which we touched up in this morning's live stream, which is Kronos sells stake in Whistler Medical Marijuana to Aurora Cannabis. So Kronos will exit its investment in medical marijuana company Whistler Medical Marijuana and sell its 19% stake to Aurora Cannabis. So Aurora will pay about 175 million Canadian for the stake, with Kronos receiving about 2.5 million Aurora common shares worth an aggregate value of about 24.6 million, and another 7.6 million upon reaching certain milestones. So yes, this does look like Aurora is diluting more shares. After these 2.5 million shares, it looks like Aurora will officially have over 1 billion shares outstanding. We'd like to thank and congratulate Whistlers for their partnership over the past 2 years, said Mike Gorenstein, CEO of Kronos. Whistler's commitment to creating high-quality products and establishing a premium brand has generated value for consumers and investors alike. We are proud to have been a part of their growth and look forward to their progress through this venture. What do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about Aurora diluting even more shares? Do you think this was a good buy for Aurora, or this was something that Aurora could have done without? Either way, it's done. What's done is done, and we can't really do nothing about it. Let's move on to the next one, which is NHL Alumni Association teams up with Canopy Growth to research concussion and cannabinoids. So Canopy Growth are pleased to announce a transformative clinical research partnership that will investigate the efficacy of cannabinoids as an integral part of a novel treatment for post-concussion neurological diseases in former NHL players. So approximately 100 former players will be enrolled in this randomized double-blind study. The research will be led by Nika Health Canada Dr. Amin Kassam, a world-renowned neurosurgeon who completed his undergraduate training at the University of Toronto and has led 4 neurosurgery programs over the 2 decades. So researchers estimate between 1.6 million to 3.8 million athletes suffer from a sports-related concussion each year. 10 to 15% of these athletes will go on to develop chronic post-concussion symptoms that can affect their ability to function. The results of this original study may also lead to a new cannabinoid-based therapies that help athletes in other professional sports, along with adults who suffer from the aftermath of brain injuries from accidents and other activities. That's just another reason to love this industry. So marijuana is not just about a dried plant. It's not just about CBD drinks. It's not just about pets and animals. This is also expanding to the NHL. I won't be surprised to see this go on to the NFL. Right now, this is early stage. They're just doing research, but I think this just looks good, especially for Canopy and for the rest of the industry, because I'm pretty sure other companies will follow. So now let's move on to, is Aurora Cannabis a buy? How long would it take for a stock to deliver a 50% gain for you to consider it a winner? Some might take 5 years, others would like a 3-year big return. But what would you think about a stock that has soared over 50% in just 2 months and is up more than 730% in less than 5 years? And we're talking about Aurora Cannabis. Aurora Cannabis is such a stock, most investors would readily conclude that the Canadian marijuana grower has been a big winner, but you've no doubt heard it plenty of times. Past performance isn't necessarily indicative of future results. Is Aurora Cannabis a stock to buy now? All reasons to hate Aurora Cannabis. There are several reasons to really dislike, perhaps even hate Aurora Cannabis. Aurora's share price has tanked 35% horrible, right? But Aurora's market cap has actually soared by 60%. The big discrepancy came as a result of a drumroll dilution. This dilution has stemmed from Aurora Cannabis' frantic scramble to acquire other companies as fast as it could. That provides yet another reason why some investors might be leery of the stock. Let's go to another reason. But another reason to be negative about Aurora Cannabis is the deal making that it hasn't made. Unlike several of its peers, Aurora has yet to form tight relationships with a major player outside of cannabis industry. That could end up haunting the company as its rivals have more money to invest in expansions and partners with the expertise to help them build successful consumer brands globally. And there's also that tiny matter of valuation. Aurora Cannabis market cap is around 7.5 billion, assumes a tremendous amount of growth is on the way in the next few years. Anything that derails the company's growth prospects could cause its stock to plunge. So now let's move on to the positive. And of course, there's a lot to like and for some even love about Aurora Cannabis. You can put those tremendous growth prospects at the top of the list. Aurora Cannabis executives sometimes toss out potential global cannabis market of $150 billion or more. That's actually on the low end of some projections. Remember, the potential exists for cannabis to disrupt several multi-billion-dollar markets, including beverages, sleep aid drugs, and animal health products. So another one, the Aurora's production capacity already ranks among the top 2 in the industry, but it's on track to jump to the #1 spot. It should be noted that Aurora's acquisitions have been key to rapid buildup of production capacity. The company is also ahead of many of its rivals in establishing international operations. Aurora has a presence in 24 countries spanning 5 continents. The company has a leading market share in European and Latin America medical marijuana markets. For Aurora Cannabis to double in share price, the company would have to be able to generate annual sales in the ballpark of at least 2.5 billion. If the global marijuana market indeed reaches 150 billion, that means Aurora only needs to capture around 1.7% of the market for its stock to double. That doesn't seem like too big of a stretch. So which emotion to second? So are the reasons to hate Aurora Cannabis greater than the reasons to love the stock, or vice versa? There's a merit on both sides of the argument. My view is that Aurora Cannabis very well could continue to be a big winner over the long run, but there are marijuana stocks that have outperformed Aurora in the past and will probably perform better in the future too. I don't see Aurora Cannabis as a terrible stock. However, I think there are even better marijuana stocks to buy right now. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that article. I did not read the full article, so there's a lot of parts that I skipped over. If you guys want to check it out, just type in, is Aurora Cannabis a buy? And that was released on March 3rd, 2019. And there's still a lot more articles that we got to look at. So 3 things Aurora Cannabis does better than other weed growers. Let's just skip right to the things. 1, it can outproduce any other company. Let's go straight to number 2. Number 2, its international reach is unparalleled, which we already talked about. They're in 24 countries right now. Number 3, it generates more in ancillary revenue than other pure play growers. So those are the 3 reasons. If you guys want to read and check out all these and check out this full article, you guys can type this in: 3 things Aurora Cannabis does better than other weed growers. So let's move on to the reason why Aphria had a very good morning. So Aphria is now in the red. They went from being up 4 or 5% in the morning to now being in the red. So yes, they had a nice spike in the morning, slowly declining. I'm going to try to find out why these companies are all declining. It's not just Aphria, it's not just Aurora, seems like the whole industry is declining right. So Aphria receives Health Canada license amendment approving fully expanded production at Aphria 1. So I already spoke about this in my live stream this morning, but I'll just touch over the important parts. Aphria today announced that Health Canada has granted the company its license amendment permitting Aphria to commence production in additional 800,000 square feet of facility at its Aphria 1 location as a part of the company's completed Part 4 and Part 5 expansion. The completed Part 4 and Part 5 expansion at Aphria 1 bring industrial scale horticulture production technology to cannabis cultivation, while critical phases such as initial cuttings, trimmings, and pruning mature plants will be performed by hand. The in-house design technology will automate key steps including transplant cutting, transporting plants through harvesting, debudding and rough trimming, drying and curing, and waste disposal. The 700,000 square foot Part 4 expansion and the 100,000 square foot Part 5 expansion represent the completion of Aphria's 5-part expansion at Aphria. Once in full rotation, Part 4 and 5 will produce an incremental annualized basis 80,000 kilograms, bringing a total annualized production capacity at Aphria 1 to 110,000 kilograms per year. And yeah, if you guys want to check that out, I already touched up on that in the morning. You guys could check out this full article. Just type this in on Google. So let's move on to the big article that probably everyone wants to hear. And this is the one reason Aurora Cannabis will be the undisputed industry leader for many years. So let's touch up on the summary. Aurora Cannabis is probably a couple of quarters from becoming the cannabis production leader for the long term. What the market misses with Aurora and the major element of the company that ensures leadership in the sector for many years into the future, its management team. This is a very long article. We're just going to try to touch up on the important points. If you guys want to read this article, I'm just going to go straight to the conclusion. So the management team of Aurora Cannabis is second to none in the industry they compete in. They have a solid long-term plan, have proven they can effectively implement that plan, and continue to add to it without doing harm to the company. At all levels of leadership, it is solid. They have proven that they can identify the holes in the company they need to fill, and from there identify the best companies to acquire or take position in to meet those needs. Most importantly, management is willing to take these steps while being questioned concerning the efficiency of the plan. I like this because I, as a shareholder, can count on them to continue to maintain the course, even under the pressure of outside or in some cases, investors' resistance. With little fanfare, they've quietly built up a portfolio of holdings that, as I've mentioned in the past, could possibly become more valuable than the production side of the business over time. They also have taken the indirect path of taking a position in the US market via Australia's capital, which if it grows as I think it will, and the US eventually legalizes pot at the federal level, could be an extraordinary growth engine for Aurora. These are the three major things I've seen the management team do that should reward shareholders with meaningful growth in the years ahead. If it comes together as I think it will, it could even surprise many of Aurora's shareholders that are already very bullish on the long-term prospects of the company. Add to that the recent announcement it is now fully licensed in Canada for its Aurora Sky and Meadowleaf Bradford grow facilities. The short-term and long-term prospects of Aurora Cannabis look even better with this expert management team in place that continues to deliver on its promises. Shareholders can confidently sit back and enjoy the ride. And boy, is it ever a ride. Aurora has been on a roller coaster. This has been one of the most volatile companies that I've been a part of. I probably have lost track the amount of times that I bought Aurora shares and I've sold Aurora shares because I have been in and out of Aurora for quite some time. And let me tell you, I've enjoyed this roller coaster ride. Aurora is a company that I've made the most money out of all the companies, also because I've made the biggest investment in Aurora out of all the companies I've ever invested in. So yeah, Aurora is currently down 2.98%. It looks like we started the morning green and now we're starting to decline. It's currently 12:33 p.m. It's not looking good for the whole market overall. We've started the day green and now we're going to end the day red. I'm going to maybe do a video in the post market and see how the post market looks. And of course, I'm going to have my live stream tomorrow. If you guys enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think about these articles. And if you're not subscribed yet, don't forget to hit that notification bell and smash that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.